The NFL has been one of the top sports in the world for a long time, with a rich history and a lot of exciting events year after year. In this video, you will learn interesting facts about the NFL you never knew. Stay glued as we explore several defining moments in NFL history, crazy scandals, weird game results, and much more. You might need to grab a chair because these facts will definitely sweep you off your feet. At number 11, we have one of the biggest and most remarkable scores in NFL history. You would wonder if the teams that suffered these defeats never trained. Two teams, the Rams in 1976 and the Patriots in 2009. Both crushed their opponents to dust with an incredible scoreline of 59-0. The Rams hold the joint biggest win in NFL history, defeating their opponents 59-0 and scoring 7 rushing touchdowns in the process. Everyone would think that such an occurrence is a one-off thing. It could never happen again in the NFL. But we all thought wrong. A similar scenario occurred again in 2009, when the New England Patriots defeated the Titans in a completely different game, but gave identical results. In this game, Tom Brady led the riot against the Titans with a massive aerial attack, registering 6 touchdowns alongside a Hall of Famer, Randy Moss. It must have been so embarrassing for the players and coaches that I would have considered retirement if I had been on the losing team. Anyways, that is why they're professionals and I'm not. Next at number 10, we talk about an incredible scoreline that doesn't happen often in the NFL. The scoreline between the Giants and Redskins in 1966 would have you thinking you're watching a basketball game. The scoreline in the match between these two teams in 1966 ended 72-41. Interestingly, that's not the only surprising thing about these teams. The Giants, who are the losers in this scoreline, had even more misery, winning only one game the entire year. It must have been a really tough year for the Giants fans. Now, at number 9, let's talk about some of the most exciting players that have graced the field in the history of the NFL. We all know that player sizes matter in the NFL, maybe not every time, but most times. But how big can a player get? The biggest player in the history of the NFL is Aaron Gibson, who had played 34 games in his entire career between 1999 and 2004. This super big player is listed at 6'6", weighing 410 pounds, approximately 186 kilograms. Man, opponents must grow some extra balls if they have this guy charging right at them, or they have to charge right at him. At number 8, now that you know who the biggest players in the NFL are, you can only wonder who the smallest player is. And to find out, you have to travel far back in time. The smallest player in the NFL history is Jack Shapiro, who made only one stat in the 1929 regular season, but it's enough for him to hold the record of the smallest player in the NFL to date. Shapiro is listed at 5 feet and 1 inches, and weighs only 119 pounds, approximately 54 kilograms. This micro man made his mark in college as an outstanding runner and a running back who excelled as a lead blocker. Shapiro must have been a fascinating figure in the game. Can anyone break this man's record of being the smallest NFL player ever? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Sitting at number 7, do you know a woman was once allowed to audition for an NFL season? Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it happened, and it makes it to a number 7 on our list of the top things you don't know about the NFL. Sadly, the saying that what a man can do, a woman can do better was invalid in this scenario. In 2013, a female college athlete named Lauren Sliberman was invited to try out the NFL. After posting a series of her videos on YouTube with amazing field drills and long-range goals, NFL scouts decided, oh well, it won't be bad if we give her a chance. But it certainly did not go as expected after being one of the most anticipated auditions ever. Lauren was completely choked on national TV and couldn't repeat the series of impressive performances she had been posting on YouTube. Safe to say, the national scene differs completely from the confinements of a room. Lauren's attempted kicks ended at 19 yards and 13 yards respectively. Although it was an awful performance, I thank her for showing up on national TV in what many regard as a men's sport. Sitting at number 6, Lauren's performance on national TV is not the only thing to cringe about. Let's take a look at one of the most cringy substances banned on the NFL, the deer antler velvet. The deer antler velvet is an ancient Chinese medicine derived from deer antlers. Although it seems all natural, the NFL banned it because it was found to contain IGF-1. This growth-inducing hormone can also boost a player's performance, but it's considered unfair to other players in one of the most recent events. Ray Lewis was accused of using the deer antler velvet while he was recovering from injury before winning the 2013 Super Bowl, but Lewis bluntly denies this claim. Well, good enough. The NFL is protecting the deer from being hunted for the sake of NFL players. But that's not the only animal the NFL is protecting. Sitting at number 5 has not been an all-rosy party in the history of the NFL. Next on our list is one of the most devastating events in the NFL, the death of Bert Bell, an NFL commissioner from 13 years between 1946 and 1959. Bert's tenure ended terribly in a tragic event when he lost his life during a football match in 1959. Late in the fourth quarter of a match between the Steelers and the Eagles scored a game-winning touchdown that sent every fan into wild reactions. The commissioner, who was in attendance during the game, suffered a heart attack right in the stands and sadly passed away. The game must have been on another level to take Bert's breath away in the dying minutes. Bert is greatly missed in the NFL, and his successors have done well in sustaining and surpassing his legacy. At number 4, we'll talk about one of the biggest scandals that hit the NFL. In 1943, a famous bookie and gambler named Elvis Parris almost turned the league on its head with his greed and corruption. Elvis bribed 2 New York Giant players, Merle Habs and Frank Falchuk, with a sum of $2,500 each, approximately $41,000 on today's worth, to throw the championship game against the Bears. Frank and Habs were integral parts of the Giants team, with Habs starting as the running back while Frank was the quarterback. Although it's not Elvis's first time of bribery, with his shady history of bribing college students to throw games. It was his first time bringing it to the Pro League, and thankfully he ran out of luck. Both players were busted and suspended permanently from the NFL by Commissioner Bert Bell, who was in charge of the NFL. Coincidentally, the Bears won the game 24-14. Well, I don't want to think there are other players on the Giants teams who were bribed but not busted. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Now at number 3, let's talk about one of the most incredible elements that makes the NFL an exciting league to watch: the fan base. Do you know the Green Bay Packers have one of the most remarkable fan bases in the NFL? Now you know. It's not just by the number of fans that troops into the stadium on each match day, but their commitment towards supporting the team. The Green Bay Packers fans are so in love with their team that you wouldn't even get a season ticket right now, even if you want it so badly. In fact, the Packers have a waiting list of season tickets for the next 100 years. Yeah, you heard that right, 100 years. That means you can't even get it for your children if you want to. Maybe your grandchildren might be lucky. The players are the core of the NFL, and that's why we have, at our number 2, the biggest player safety scandal that has rocked the NFL in recent years. In 2007, Dr. Bennet Omalu, a renowned medical researcher, reached out to the NFL with his findings concerning the effects of head clashes in NFL history. Dr. Omalu reported the danger of CTE, a condition caused by traumatic head injury resulting from significant head clashes that players often encounter in the NFL. The findings showed that CTE has a dreadful long-term effect on players' health, even after retirement, and the need for more protection. His findings also showed that 99 of the brains he studied from ex-players of the NFL had CTE, which is quite alarming. Despite the compelling evidence and deep research, the findings were not given a warm reception by the NFL chiefs because they feared it would have a negative effect on revenue, and players suffering from head injuries after retirement might get more proceedings from lawsuits. Consequently, the NFL chiefs did everything possible to conceal these findings and dismiss the reputation of Dr. Omalu to protect the game. Do you think this action is fair to the players? Drop a piece of your mind in the comment section. Finally, the number 1 on the list of our top things you didn't know about the NFL is the short span of NFL players' careers. We often hear about players signing big contracts worth millions of dollars. But what we don't usually ask is how long they would be getting such fat paychecks after paying heavy taxes. Statistics in 2015 show that approximately 78% of NFL players face serious financial hardship after retirement, and approximately 17% of them file for bankruptcy a few years later. After leaving the spotlight, most of these guys worked their whole life to get into the NFL, only to spend about 3 to 5 years playing at the top level, although some that are lucky to spend longer years. It is safe to say that the NFL has one of the shortest spans of any professional career, and most of these players do not have enough financial education to manage their funds within this short time. Well, maybe for most players, it's not about the money but passion and love for the game. What do you think? There are still a lot of exciting things to know about the NFL in our upcoming videos, and I bet you don't want to miss them, so stay connected when you subscribe to this channel after liking and sharing this video. See you in the next video.